Hello, happy Sunday. So today I just wanted to give you fashion tips that you could sell on Poshmark with higher profit margins. So what I would suggest is when you first start reselling, because a lot of my videos are for people that just started reselling, is to buy items like at the Salvation Army and the Goodwill, anywhere from 50 cents at the bins or the normal discount stores, which is Goodwill and Salvation Army, and those sell like they sell items from anywhere from $5.99 to $9.99. And then when you buy those items, you just buy it and then you try to sell them anywhere from $20 to $50. And as you're starting to make some sales and you're trying to get feedback. So as a beginner, the first thing you want to do is get a lot of feedback. And then as you start to accumulate some cash, then you want to start to save some of that money and then buy higher profit margin items. And this might be 6 months from now, this might be a year from now, but this is the tips that I want to give for people that are interested in higher profit margin sales. So there are different types of things that you can do. So the first thing that I recommend is if you have a good eye for fashion, then you could just pick things really well and buy them anywhere on the retail side or maybe on Poshmark or eBay or Mercari, and you buy them low, anywhere from like $9.99 to like $80, and then you buy them low and then you flip it for a higher profit. And so instead of just getting like $5 to $15, you're getting anywhere from like $20 to like $50. So that's what I did. And there's different types of things that I've done with that. One is following fashion bloggers. So fashion bloggers are people on Instagram that have over like 300,000 followers. So someone like me, I'm not like a huge influencer right now because I only have 15,000 followers, and that sounds like a lot, but it's really really small compared to influencers that have anywhere from like 300,000 to like 1 million followers. And when those fashion bloggers blog about something, if the price is low, then I'll buy it and I'll sell it for a good price. So let me give you an example. This dress right here, there was a few fashion bloggers that blogged it, and one is Lydia McMillan, and then there's also other fashion bloggers that blogged it. And so I bought it for like anywhere, I think it was like $19, and I sold it for $65. So that's kind of a higher margin. So you will follow the fashion bloggers, but you want to make sure that the item that you buy is not too expensive and that you'll buy it right away, because what happens is when they blog it about it, it sells out like within minutes. I'm talking about within minutes. So I'll basically go to the store, in the store, and I'll be buying the returns. And then there's items that are like this. So if something is like designer inspired and it's kind of like a really cute style and it's kind of unique and hard to find, then you could also demand a high price. So this is like a Chanel inspired shoe because you see this kind of darker black and then this kind of design. So this is kind of like a Chanel inspired, but the reason why I could get high prices for this is because not a lot of Zara's have this. This was only at the Zara UTC mall in San Diego that I could find. So I was buying all of these for $9.99 and I was selling them anywhere from $75.99 to $99.99. And so these shoes, I bought like 6 of them and I sold all of them except for one that I'm trying to keep for myself, and another one is size 9. So that is another way to do it. So you follow the fashion bloggers, or you get shoes that are, or styles that are inspired by like Chanel or like the higher end designers, and they'll want to buy that. So like another example is I bought a Gucci inspired blogger's favorite cardigan, and they sell that at Zara and it's sold out, and it was selling for like $70, and I was selling them for like $300 to $250, and I just knew right away when I saw it that it was the Gucci copy. So that was not being worn by a lot of bloggers, but there were some bloggers that were wearing it, but not like the big bloggers that have over 300,000 following. And then you have items that are something like this. So this is not a designer copy. This is also not a fashion blogger copy, but it's just really unique and rare, and not a lot of sellers have it, and you could just tell that it looks like it's really like expensive. So like I was buying these at $69.90 and I was selling them for $300, and basically I was waiting on the website. Every time they would buy it, like sell them, I would buy them out on the site as fast as I could. And that was for Zara, as well as something like this is not Gucci inspired, this is not fashion blogger copy, and this is not anything completely rare, but not a lot of people have it, and it's just a very unique style and design. So if you are not good with fashion, or you don't have a good eye for fashion, I suggest you not do this, because it's kind of like a high risk type of thing. It's better if you don't have like a really good eye for fashion, just to go to Salvation Army, Goodwill, buy things for $5, buy a bunch of things, and then flip them for $30 to $40. If you have a good eye for fashion, then you could do something like that. And like pretty much everything I've had more than like 6 of them or 7, and I've sold them all. And I knew which sites to put them on to make the most amount of profits. This one, I had like 4 of them. I sold all of them except for this one. I actually want to keep now because I actually get a lot of compliments when I wear them. And then I bought some designer earrings, and I was buying them from anywhere from $70 to $110 and selling them for $400. The problem with designer jewelry is that there are a lot of replicas, and I actually bought some and they were replicas, so I returned them and I got my money back. Replicas are, you want to stay away from them because you could go to jail. Like you could go to jail, and you do not want to sell replicas. So you will just really want to tread lightly with designer jewelry or designers. You want to get them authenticated by Real Authentication, or one of those sites that just make sure that they're authentic. So I only suggest these higher profit flips after you've been getting a lot of feedback, like at least 200 to 500 feedback, because if you're selling very expensive items, everybody is going to look at your feedback and see if you have a track record of being honest. They're not going to buy like a $500 earring from some seller that has no feedback. So this was for people that are kind of in the reselling game for a while and just want to make a little bit higher profits than, say, like the $5 to like $30 profit range. And you just want to always keep an eye out on the trends. People always ask me, which fashion bloggers do you follow? I follow the fashion bloggers that are selling the items and brands that I carry. So like I'll Google 2018 Zara fashion bloggers. I will go to Time magazine. I'll go to magazines, and I will see if I'll go through the magazine, and if I see something that's Zara, then I would pick that out. If I see something Anthropology or Free People, I'll pick that out. And then also when I'm going through my feed on my Instagram, if I see and recognize something that I've seen in the store or I have in my stock, I'll like right away know that that's the blogger's favorite. And also when you just follow a bunch of fashion bloggers and you just get this gut instinct and everybody's commenting on a certain item, you want to go on the websites right away and check if it's available, if it's under like $30, and if there's not a lot of sellers on it, then you could get anywhere from like $20 to like $200 on some of these items. And I just highly recommend that maybe you check the comp solds, or you run across somebody who has a lot of experience with selling designer items, and you just want to be very careful with these kind of higher profit margin items. I would only suggest this if you've had at least 1.5 years of experience of reselling, and you have a capital of at least like $2,000 or $3,000 just for spending excess outside of what you already have in your paying your bills. Because the reason why I give this caution, even though you might be tempted to go this route because you want the faster money, is because say I bought this for $70. I could have bought 70 divided by $5. I could have bought that much more items of thrifted items and flip them all for $15 profit each versus just getting like $50 to $80 on one item. So you want to do what's best for your business, but you also want to take a little bit of risks if you want to get higher margins. But the reason why you still want to go with the Salvation Army and the Goodwill, like lower price items, is because you want to always be constantly feeding any platform, because the more you feed the platforms and the more engagement you have in the platforms, the higher you will reach the analytics for them to search your items. So say whatever item you have, like that's your biggest popular seller, Google that in your platform and see where you are in the food chain when you Google your item. If you're very low, then you need to like up your selling game and try to get more sales in there. Maybe have returns and maybe fast delivery time so that you could be higher in the analytics before you start throwing in all these higher profit margins. So if this is all confusing, please watch my earlier videos about the beginning of reselling and how to start, because this is more for like people that have been selling for longer and who want to get more higher profit margins. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any designers that you sell, leave the comments below what you really love to sell. I love to sell Chanel, I love to sell Zara, I love to sell Miu Miu. Those are the different types of brands. Okay, thank you, have a good day.